All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ellen Explains It All. As you probably know, this is usually the show where AWT's executive director, Amanda, answers your questions. This isn't Amanda. This is Kailey. We have a special treat for the first episode of the year. We're going to get the inside scoop on life on creative teams from everyone's favorite director, choreographer, icon, Kailey Smith. Welcome, Kailey.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Yes, absolutely. Before we get started, I always ask a warm-up question. These drive Amanda insane. But for this month, my warm-up question is, what is your New Year's resolution, if you had one?
Okay, so I tend to not do resolutions because
Mm,
I feel like they don't have like an end to it. It's like
mm,
people are like, go running more or go do this more. So I actually this year did 2026 punch cards that are like, like the coffee shop when you go to like get them punched or
mm,
whatever. So I have a bunch of goals on those for things like try 7 new restaurants in my neighborhood because I'm really bad about that, and like go to 20 dance classes. So like things that are a little bit more achievable for me. So those are my New Year's, not resolutions, but New Year's goals that I have for the
yeah,
year.
I really like that, having
Yeah.
more of a defined
Yes,
goal.
I'm a
Yeah,
checklist kind of person, so like
yeah,
I need the like okay, we've done it before, because then I'll forget
yeah,
about it.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I really like that idea. I'm not really a resolution person, but I don't know. All of my goals, I use so many apps, like tracking apps.
Uh-huh.
I need it to be like a thing I look at every day. And
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely hard to
Yeah,
keep
for
track of it
sure.
all, but yeah.
Cool, awesome. You don't tell her, but you did better than Amanda does.
Wow.
Yeah. She usually has to
Well,
think about it for way longer. Sorry,
yeah.
Amanda. I'm gonna keep this in so she can see. As I mentioned, Kaylee and I will be talking about being on a creative team with AWT. As always, if I skip your question, it might have been a repeat or more relevant to a future episode. In the same vein, your question might have ended up reworded just for logistical reasons. Never any tea or any shade or any pink lemonade. We got some really great questions, so let's just dive in. All right, question one. What do you believe makes a strong creative team?
It's a great question. I think first and foremost for me, it's communication, and
Mhm.
making sure that we are constantly talking to each other about our plans, about the schedule, about any changes that are coming. I'm very big on like I would rather you over communicate than under communicate. Even if you're like, I'm running 5 minutes late, it's just like, I think that keeps us all on track and
Mhm.
makes everyone, it just runs more smoothly in front of a cast in particular. I also think what makes up a good creative team is having a diverse group of people. And so people that come from different backgrounds, that have different experiences within and outside of the community, just brings in all of the different perspectives when it comes to together a vision for a
Mhm.
show without it just being like one sided from a singular person on the team. I love having those different points of view and those different creative ideas. It just helps round out the team, and also it makes the show better and it makes the cast better, I think, too.
This next person asked three questions, so I'm just going to do
Oh,
them one at a time, I
okay.
think. Their first question, very broad. What is it
Hmm.
like working on a creative team?
That is broad. I think it's really fun, but it's a lot of work. I think like
Mm,
any kind of project that you go into, it is a job, and it is something that you are organizing and putting together, and it is a lot of work for prep especially, but it's also a lot of fun to work with other people, and especially a lot of us on the creative teams don't do this for a living, and to be able to do something like this outside of our day jobs and get to do work on shows and musicals and sing outs and dance outs, it's really rewarding and it's fun. But that's not to say that it's not work with making sure you're prepared for rehearsal. Out That takes a lot of time outside of rehearsal, and again, like meeting with the creative team constantly and being in communication to make sure that you're putting together the best show that you can. But it definitely is. So I think it's a good mix of fun and hard work. And
Hmm.
it's also nice to meet new people in the creative space, and see other people from the community come into these positions and grow in that way. So yeah, I think it's hard work, it's fun, but it's also very rewarding.
And that leads perfectly into their second question. What advice can you give to newer creative team members?
I think for newer creative team members, be open to learning, and really push to learn. Even if you come from a background that you've directed before, or you've music directed before, or choreographed, stage managed,
Hmm.
AWT is such a specific way, has such a specific way to do a lot of things, and a lot of processes. Our community theater is very different from
Hmm.
other communities in the city and across, the world. So I think be open to learning how our process goes, but also don't be afraid to speak up. And
Hmm.
if you have an idea, I would think and I would hope that your creative team and the people that you're working with are open to more ideas and hearing just every side of something before making a decision in terms of casting, in terms of staging, anything with the script or the show or the set. Yeah, I think it's, being willing to learn and going in not thinking that you have all of the knowledge and that you're the only one that can do something, but being open to that. But then also not being afraid to share your ideas with everyone else.
And their third question is labeled hot question. I
Oh,
don't think it's super hot. I think the first word is probably the hot part. When you do a dance
when?
out.
Oh,
Um,
oh, okay.
yeah. What theme would you want to do? Would you like to do a story like Wonderland, Neverland, or have a theme and pick songs that relate to that theme?
Yeah, so I don't want to reveal too much because I have plans. I don't have a when, so that's maybe a myth buster for later, but I would love to do a dance out and choreograph and direct a dance out someday. And I have ideas already on what I would like to do. I'm leaning more towards a more general theme and not a
Hmm.
story. Not that I don't love both things, but the some of the themes that I have in mind are more like a general storyline, a more fluid storyline than a like this happens and then this happens and then this happens. So
Hmm.
it's probably going to be more of a theme, but I don't want to reveal too much because I don't want to get anyone excited about anything and then me
Yeah.
change my mind. But I've got like four themes that I would love to do and have, shared with some folks. So hopefully in the future, we'll be able to
Yeah.
do some of those.
Looking forward to it. Maybe I would finally do a dance out.
Mm.
I was going to, and then the workshop called my name.
Oh, yeah. It was tough
Yeah.
this season. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tough
And
choice.
there were like people on the wait list for the dance out, and I was like, they can have it.
Well, maybe sometime in the future,
Yeah.
we'll see when it
Yeah.
is.
I'm someone who often feels nervous when learning new blocking or choreo, so my character choices will suffer in the moment because of it. How do you differentiate between nervousness and a lack of enthusiasm? I'm often anxious that my nerves will be interpreted as lack of care for what's being taught.
Hmm, that's a tough question because I think I tend to not, this is going to sound so bad, but I tend to not pay as much attention when you're learning
Mhm.
something because I myself am also showing the worst facial expressions when I'm learning something and I
Mhm.
don't understand something, and it may come off that I'm not interested. So I'd say when you're learning, just staying open and like if you're getting something and you're going over it, then I know that you're there. I think if you're standing there watching the whole rehearsal, I'm going to be like,
Mm.
what's going on? But that's
Yeah.
never the case. And I think when it comes to like something like a launch day or a like when we're in rehearsals and I'm watching something for the first time, I fully know that this is the first time you're learning something and I'm really
Mhm.
just looking for the fact that you're trying. And so maybe I understand that facial expressions sometimes when people are nervous they aren't showing it, but a lot of times your body is showing it and that you're actually
Mhm.
moving and having fun. And so that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I think just like it's really hard, but like when you're in these situations, just trying to like shake your nerves off and like just going for it, that's all we can really ask for. And whenever we're in rehearsal or in launch day and I say like I don't care if you don't mess up the whole combo that I just
Mhm.
taught, As long as you're having fun, like that's what matters. Because I do really care that people are having fun. You're signing up for adult community theater. Like if you're not having fun, like then what can we do to make sure that you have fun?
Yeah.
I think dance is really scary for a lot of people, and so I always try really hard to make it not scary. And I understand that that's a hard thing to do, but I think I'm just really looking for, that you're moving, that you're trying,
Hmm.
and that's all that we can ask for is that you're going for it.
Yeah, totally. I not necessarily like choreo dance related, but last summer I did a scene study and the teacher said something that like totally changed how I approach like learning,
Mm-hmm.
like going to like choreo and stuff like that. He defined acting as giving yourself permission. And I was like, I don't know, like it really like because I get so in my head
Yeah,
about choices I'm making or like if it's like dance, like missing steps or whatever. And I think giving yourself the permission to like be as out there as possible really kind of, I don't know, it helped me a lot. So maybe
yeah.
it'll help you too,
I
viewer.
really like that. And I like
Yeah.
give yourself permission also like yes and like give yourself permission to mess up and like
Yeah.
be vulnerable and like it's super scary, but like I've definitely been there even on like a launch day and like been in the front row and forgot the choreography and was just like,
Hmm.
all right, we're just gonna do
Yeah.
something until I can like find it up again. But yeah, I like that. It's like giving yourself permission to just like be out of your head and just
Hmm.
like be in the room and experience joy or something that's scary to you
Yeah.
and seeing how it feels.
Yeah.
Right.
Totally. So I don't know. Question asker. Maybe
Hmm.
that'll help you. See, this next question is the one that I would call a hot question.
Okay.
It's still not super hot. What traits do you look for in performers during launch day?
Ooh, I think that is a
Mm.
little bit of a hot question, but it is, yeah, I think we look for different things
Hmm.
for different purposes. So I think overall, what we're looking for is for you to really commit to the bit and
Mm.
to really go for it and push yourself because like if you're nervous and shy, like that is totally fine, but like if you are getting up there and you're committing to what you can commit to give and
Hmm.
doing your best, then that is exactly what we want. And um we definitely want, people that are willing to try something new, and like you're coming into this program and you might have an idea in your head of which role you're going to get, but we might see a vision for you else.
Oh, I
Oh,
just lost
am
you.
I
Oh, you're
back?
back. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, my internet just went out for, okay, are we still here?
Okay. Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah.
Okay. So, yes. So you might see yourself somewhere in a specific role that the creative
Hmm.
team might see you in another role. And so we're really looking again for someone to just really commit and say yes and to go with the experience. And then of course there's always like the technical elements of things that we do have to look for when you're doing a show, which is like, the voice range of this character goes up to this note. Can this person like would we set them up for success by putting them in this role if they cannot hit the note, and or like
Hmm.
same thing with dance, like if there's a huge dance track, we want to make sure that we're setting you up for success and like what kinds of things can you do. I'm also looking for like things that we can add to the show or things that we can showcase. So in dance, a lot of times I'll ask on forums, like, can you do any tricks? Or like
Mm.
in launch day cuts, you'll notice that choreographers a lot of times will add turns and jumps, but then when you get to do them in the show, they cut everything out
Mm.
of it because on launch day, what I'm testing to see is not necessarily like I want everyone to be able to do a double turn like that. I
Hmm.
know is not going to happen, but if there is a few folks that can and we can showcase something that is exciting to them or that they can do a really cool jump or a cartwheel or something, I'm going to try to add that into the show to, have that person have that moment. So what
Hmm.
we're really doing on launch day is not like saying like, oh, these people are good and these people are bad. Like,
Yeah.
there's none of that happening. It's more like, I want to see what you want to bring to this experience, and then how can we place you accordingly based on what we are envisioning for what the show is going to look like.
What is your dream show to direct or choreograph at AWT?
Oh, well, I would love to do a dance out. That is my dream show. I think that's where I want to go next. After, Head Over Heels, of course,
Mm,
I would love to try to do something that's like putting together a show on my own that doesn't have a book
mm,
to it. I
mm.
think doing the All Out last summer was so fun and exciting because we were able to kind of shape it ourselves. And so I think that is what I'm really excited to do. There's also a ton of shows out there that I would be happy to direct. I have said to many people, I love Once Upon a Mattress. I think that would be
Mm.
really fun to direct. The Addams Family would be really fun for
Oh
us, I
yeah.
think. But I'm also like very open, like if other people have thoughts, or AWT staff and team has a thought of a show, like I'm very open to like looking at and reading something new that I maybe don't have as much experience with. So,
And then related, what is your dream show to be in?
when Legally Blonde comes, I very much
Mm,
would want to be in that show. Yeah, that is one of my like, I very much want to be a part of that. I know it's going to be hard to get off that
yeah.
registration list, but
Yeah.
yes, I think Legally Blonde. I would love a revival of Mamma Mia,
Mm,
just because I love the show, and it was my first main stage with AfterWork, and it was such a great experience, and I just like love to do it again. I think those are my main two that I'm like looking out for. I'm also like similar to directing, like if something is announced and it piques my interest, I'm very happy to like do some research and see if it makes sense for me. And yeah, I also am very pulled by the creative team, like most
mm.
people. And so if it's someone that I really want to work with, then I am more likely to do said show.
This next question comes directly from Allah.
Okay.
How does it feel knowing I have a friend crush on you?
It feels great. I'm so honored to be the recipient of your friend crush, Ella. And as I've said to her before, we're already friends, and I'm surprised that that was in the past Ellen Explains It All. But yes, very honored, very sweet.
Yeah, no, I get it though. Like I've come to people and been like, "Can we be friends?" And they're like, "We are." And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was
"Oh."
like. Oh, I didn't realize that we weren't, but okay, yeah, we can be friends now. But very sweet.
Congratulations, Allah. Your crush has been fulfilled.
Yes.
And this is our last question. What are you most I'm gonna take that again. What are you most looking forward to this spring season?
I am looking forward to, first of all, just like seeing who signs up for the show.
Mm,
I'm super excited about the show, and the more I read it, the more I listen to it, I like find new things that I'm excited about. So I'm really excited to just see who wants to jump on the train and say yes. And there's going to be a lot of adding people in, as always with AWT, adding people into scenes where they weren't in the Broadway production. Since the Broadway production has a small cast, we have a much
mm,
bigger cast. And I'm very excited to explore like different like roles that people will have. And the show is very queer, and so like
mm,
being able to explore like um some drag and some like different ways into how we represent ourselves, I think is going to be really interesting. And then I'm also excited for the choreography. Of course, I come from the dance background, and it's all 80s music, so it's going to be, different from some typical jazz musical theater. It's going to be more modern, and it's going to be a lot of fun and really upbeat, and it moves really quickly.
mm.
So yeah, very excited about that.
Okay, so
Okay.
Mythbusters.
Okay.
I usually give Amanda an opportunity to bust a myth at the end of every episode.
Hmm.
She rarely has one.
Okay.
We usually come up with it here. But Kailey, Do you have an AWT myth about creative teams that you would like to
Okay,
bust?
so I do have a myth, and you
Okay.
tell me if this is not good enough. But
Okay.
the myth is that the creative team has control over who gets into the shows that they are
Hmm.
working on. And that is not true. We do not have any say on who gets off the registration list, who gets off the wait list, and all of that. I tend to not even see who's on it until like registrations have already started. So we
Hmm.
actually have no control over that.
All right. Well, thank you for stopping by, Kailey,
Yes, thank
for
you.
guest starring. Yeah, and as always, thank all of you for your questions. None of this would be possible without you. I say none of this as if it's like a massive, like, none of this would be possible. My monthly interview fee.
Your
Anyway,
subscribers, your Patreon subscribers.
yeah, this would not be possible without your questions. And yeah, I never know how to end these. So I'm going to do it like I always do and just awkwardly say bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Ellen explains it all.